All right. Shalom.
Shalom.
Back here once again because the downfall collapse with the kingdom of America was going to Babylon the Great in the Bible. And let you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans know that you are the true children of Israel. Sons of the Heavenly Father, which is the true name in the ancient Hebrew, which his name is Yahweh. The name Yahweh means he is, who he exists, who he to be. And also lies the name of the Son as well, which his name is also in the ancient Hebrew, in which his name is Yahweh Shai, who these people in Israel call Jesus, in which the name Yahweh Shai means he delivers and he saves. And as the name implies, which once again is Yahweh Shai, he is going to deliver and save the nation of Israel, starting we elect those that hear and understand, and those that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst of it. And again, Yahweh Shai, being the author and the finisher of our faith, which is ushering in the coming of the kingdom of Yahweh Shemel Shai, ushering in the kingdom of righteousness, the kingdom of the Most High Yahweh, in which is going to be established here on the planet Earth. It's going, and as well, the nation of Israel as the nation of the planet Earth, being joint heirs. And again, those are the names, Yahweh, or Yahweh Shai, which again are the names of Heavenly Father, whom we come instead of to teach this word, this gospel news unto the members of the Hope elect, which once again are the ones that hear and understand it, and also the ones that sigh and cry for all the atrocities that are done here, Babylon the Great. And those are the names that we come instead of to also the prophecy concerning the end times and concerning the end of this man's system and his current kingdom, which is ruled by Esau Edom, which is the true biblical nationality of the so-called white man. Before I begin, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, God, Ba'ashem, Ba'ashem. Also as well, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that continue to move very well to this very day. Let's continue to be the flock of the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Shai. That's also continuing the legacy of the prophets and the apostles of old that have also taught in our Lord's doctrine the coming of the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom which entails of righteousness here on the earth as well, to set things right once again on the planet Earth, to set things back in order. And also as well, Shalom and much honors as well. Architects of Dakim, the righteous brothers, those again, once again, of the Hope Elect that also are teaching the same things in the doctrine to the other members of Hope Elect in the hopes to bring about this next rulership as well of this word in our faith, truth, sincerity, and also in our charity. All right, and again, man, we're back out here once again to prophesy concerning the fate of Babylon the Great and the fate of Esau Edom. Once again, as now called white man. Okay, and go ahead and get the scripture out in the book of, I believe you had Luke.
I have the book of Luke, all right?
And you can break it down.
I have the book of Luke right quick, okay? Chapter 17 in verse 26. And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it also be in the days of the Son of Man, right? So let's examine that. In the days of Noah, you had eating, drinking, giving into marriage. You had a lot of people just not giving a whole damn, man. All right? Walking around, living their little lives, mirthing it up, eating, drinking, meeting people, living their life so-called as normal, right? Now, in the ancient world, it didn't rain. All right? Rain was a scarcity. Rain just didn't happen. All right? And for 120 years, Noah had been what? Warning the people, telling the people, hey, it's gonna rain, it's gonna rain, it's gonna rain. And he's building a big old ark. And this is a spiritual ark we're building now. But this ark, all right, was to save you, all right, was to preserve you from it, right? And you had a lot of people for 19 years saying to Noah, it ain't rain. It's still out here, hot, man. Damn, man, you still building that doggone boat? I can hear them people talking shit because they're shit to us.
Yep.
During this spiritual arc. Damn, man, you still out there teaching that? Man, they've been saying that for years. Okay? All right. But guess what? Eventually, what happened? A raindrop fell.
Yeah, because they lost patience.
That's right.
They didn't wait for the Lord, you know. And also, scripture that comes to mind, in the book of I believe it's in Matthew, either Matthew or Luke, where it says those that keep watch, and those that continue to watch and will not suffer the thief to come in and steal. You can find that real quick.
Okay.
Bring that up. But yeah, you have certain individuals that were in this thing that have lost patience, and they were expecting the Lord to come back tomorrow, you know. But you have to understand that the Lord doesn't operate on our time. It really is foolish thing to have the mindset of thinking that the Lord will come back in your time frame, on your schedule, you know. But again, we're just mortal men. We can't dictate, you know, when the Lord returns or when things are going to happen, man. You know, because we're just worms. We're worms in the sight of Yahweh. That's why scripture say, "Thou worm Jacob." You know, and a worm has no power over the one who's residing over that worm. You know, a worm is defenseless. It has no leeway on their coming or going. You know, not having no knowledge of what's going to be for the next day or what's going to happen tomorrow. And that's we were speaking about our camp. You know, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You know, we don't know what's going to happen in the next hour or 30 minutes. You know, that's only in the Lord's timetable, man. That's on the Lord's schedule. So who art thou, O vain man, to think that the Lord is going to do things in your time for your schedule, man? No, man, you out of your mind, man. Because again, you know, you were speaking out, you were reading the scripture. You know, basically, you know, you have people that lost patience, and now they're saying, like, what we're speaking about, you know, they saying that we have been speaking on this for years and years on end, going back to the 70s, man. But when you look around, prophecy is speaking, man. We see it each and every single day. Every event that takes place is leading on to either the 50th chapter. I mean, really, you can go into all scripture. Jeremiah, the 50th chapter, 13, 16, where I was bringing out the MOTB. You know, the time of trouble, Daniel, the 12th chapter. It's multitudes of events that are taking place now that ends up what the scripture is speaking about, man. But the thing about it is that if you lost patience, then really that means that you no longer believe in the prophecy. Because that's what is happening around us, man. It's prophecy. If you're not observant and you're not aware of what's going on around today, then that means that you have lost your awareness on where we are in the scriptures. You have basically stopped measuring the times.
That's right.
And you have discarded yourself, and you have moved away, keeping up with the times, and keeping up with the prophecies and what the things that are taking on, what's going on here in the world today, man, and how everything lines up with prophecy. Okay? Because mind you, you know, we speak about prophecy, but these are things that have been written aforetime in history. This prophecy was written hundreds and thousands of years ago, man. So, and here we are. Now it's happening in our time, man. Which lets you know that this book is powerful, and it trumps all the books that have been presented here in this current world today, man. What other book foretell the fate of Israel, man? Or foretell the fate of our people and where we're going to end up in the last days, man. And how and how this current system is gonna develop, man. And also who's gonna be in rulership at the end of that, man.
That's right.
Well, the book can tell you that, man. So if you on the mindset of things happening in your time frame and in your schedule, then you might as well just go back into the world, man. Which Jake ended up doing. They go back into the world and they just forget about these things. They forget about the word. They forget about prophecy, and they forget about even where they are in the current state of affairs and in the state that they're in right now. And they forget about the condition that they're in, and then it turns into other things. Then they try to go about establishing their own righteousness in their own, which all leads to death. Because no matter what avenue or what road you go down here in Babylon, it ends up being the same result, which is what? Death.
And that's going up some way. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And Yahweh shall say that you a thief and a robber if you go up some other way, man. Yahweh shall is the way only. You try to find your way through Farrakhan or try to find salvation through, that energy crap, man. You only have to go through the straight gate, all right? And that's a level of difficulty, man. All right? You can't just get kingdom and just make it there easy. No, man, you gotta go through some things. You have to suffer. That is what this truth is about. Suffering. And look, suffering wrongfully too. You know? Because the brothers that sincere out here, some of us gonna be cast into prison soon. Some of us. It could be me. I'm speaking to myself first. I could be, shit, man, we all gotta have it in the back minds, man. Like, hey, it could be us. But shit, man, you gotta go through some stuff, man. All right? So if you lose patience and you in a FEMA camp some damn where, what you gonna hold on to, and you got 10 people right ahead of you about to get beheaded, and now it's 5, now it's 2, now you're next. What are you gonna hold on to in that time? The 3 holy children was holding on to Yahweh Shai. That's why he was there. What about the apostles locked up? They was praising Yahweh Shai in chains. And guess what? Them chains fell off. What you gonna hold on to in the time of trouble? In the time of distress? In the time of death? When you literally faced with it? Better yet, prophecy. When you faced with that. Because Jake gonna be faced with Amos, the 9th chapter. Jake gonna be faced with Jeremiah 50. Jake gonna be faced with a lot of these precepts that we bring out every day. So what you gonna hold on to in that day? Who you gonna pray on? You gonna be like my mans from the Mummy and have a bunch of fucking idolatrous chains, and you just gonna find the one that feel right at the time and say, yeah, I'm gonna use this one.
Yeah, my man Benny.
Yeah, Benny. Don't be Benny, man. Okay? Because I think that Benny ended up dying, because he got locked in the tomb.
Yeah, he got locked in the tomb.
Yeah, with all that gold.
Yeah, he trying to seek all that gold and treasures for himself.
Yeah.
He ended up getting locked in that tomb and got ate alive by those bugs and beetles. And it happened when the light went out.
Yeah, with the light.
It's like when the light went out, he's like,
yeah,
it was fading. And then them bugs like
riches profiteth nothing. Yeah, hey, look, man, riches don't profit in the day of wrath. It's a roughly paraphrasing, So all you greedy niggas that's holding on to that dollar, that's holding on to this currency, you gonna be Benny in that day.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all gonna be Benny. And everybody wanna hold on to these riches when they cut. I'm telling you, as soon as they cut these lights off, bye paper money.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a thing of the past, because look, man, when they cut them lights back on, that's a whole new system rebooting. That's like you cutting off your computer with broadband. Because mind you, man, this financial system been enacted since 1776. So all of that has to shut all the way down, and now we are literally seeing the last shutdown screen, like the little blue little window screen before it turned black. And when it turned black and you gotta hit that little restart button, it's gonna be a whole new fucking system out, you know what I'm saying? Literally out here.
Yeah, it's like you're still on Windows XP and then they switch you over to Windows 10.
Right. Right.
Because,
You know?
because that's how they do it with operating systems, right? They move on to the next stage. Like, nobody's using Windows XP or 10 or 7. Like, Windows 10 about to be out the door here in a minute.
Yep.
Because we on to Windows 11 now.
Yep.
You know, you got these different operating systems that upgrade each and every single year. You don't think that's gonna also spill over to the monetary system?
Mm-hmm.
Because the monetary system, the one we got right now, it's been going on for years. And it's long overdue for a transition, man. And that's all it takes, man. All it takes is just one edict and that one legislation just turn over.
That's it.
The whole way of how you make transactions. Because mind you, man, it wasn't too long ago that we was only using cash.
Right.
You know? It was only like what, 20, 30 years, maybe?
Yeah, we only been using cash since like 1932 or something like that, when
Yeah.
they had to go to Federal Reserve notes.
Mm-hmm.
That was after the gold standard, where everybody had to turn in their gold and silver.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you would get like like a $100,000 fine or like a $10,000 fine back then, and or prison time. Like, you had to turn that shit in,
Yeah.
like all your gold and silver.
Yeah. So when you think about it now, it's like, well, you don't even really have to turn anything at this point because the cash is just gonna be worthless. You know, you don't have to. No longer is gonna be a day where you just make a transaction by giving cash, because now you got stores and different businesses that won't even take cash now.
Yeah. Or cash a check.
Yeah.
It is so hard to cash a check now, man. I had a little gig or whatever. It was a little while back, man. I was trying to cash a check of like $200. They couldn't even do it. And, you know, I had to go to the bank, and then they was giving me hell and all. Just to cash a check, you know? So that already lets you know that everything is digital. That already lets you know that cash is literally going to be a thing of the past. You know, you're not going to need a birth certificate. Shit, you ain't even going to need a phone nowadays, because, you know, all of these fucking Neuralink guys or whatever, they can talk using like telepathy and all of that bullshit, man. They can transfer data just by thinking it, man. You know? But I'm about to pull up all the countries that backed out of the US dollar, right? Yeah, that wind picking up, ain't it?
Yeah.
All right, you got Armenia, Azerbaijan, Belarus, Kazakhstan, you got Kyrgyzstan, Moldova, Russia, Tajikistan, I know I'm butchering these names, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and Ukraine. So, you know, these and many other countries are backing out of the US dollar, making the US dollar more worthless and more worthless and more worthless than it already is. Because you still have to keep in mind the BRICS, which is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and many other countries. It's like 30 or 40 other countries that actually join, like the the UAE and all these other places as well. You know, and they are all put their natural resources together to back their currency. That's why it's, you know, shit, man, BRICS owns like 40% of the wealth now of the earth, and it's growing, man. to the point where the U.S. dollar is going to be completely obsolete. Completely, you are doing your own thing, you know. And look, Trump is purposely doing it. Elon Musk is purposely doing it. They have been saying many a times that this new biometric tracking system is going to be something like a CHIP. All right, and this is what we need to track people for so-called what? Immigration. That's going to be the excuse that he going to try to use to push out this biometric tracking system. He going to use Ephraim and Issachar. He going to use Jake. You know, he going to use Jake for that. Just so they can push it out and make it a norm in public, and then they going to crack you right across your head and say you got to get it mandatory now. You have seen it enough. You have seen it a little bit in these stores. Now you're going to have to get it or die. One of the two. And Trump is a perfect person. It ain't going to take no 3 or 4 more Donald Trumps and nothing. Nero is all we need right now to issue in the second coming. Okay? Because he could do all of this year. He don't need 4 years for all this. He did all of that his last term, and his little, you know what I'm saying, his little fucking presidential buddies helped him before that. All of this is to issue in the New World Order, man. All right? So all of that biometric tracking and all of that, Trump is going to use the immigration to where you're going to have to get that grain of rice in your hand for transactions. You got it, bro.
Yeah,
I got still got that Luke 17, but I can go to the Spirit lead me to Revelation 13 real fast.
Okay. Yeah.
Revelation 13 and 16, and he causeth all, right? That word causeth, because you cannot skip that word causeth, you know, because that word causeth is going to be the reason why this get implemented, man. Okay? And this going to be the reason why it's going to stay implemented, man. All right? Because that causeth is going into what? Being constituted by a law. And I got Strong's G 4160 paeo, which means to make ready, to prepare, and that's what they've been doing. Preparing and making ready the MOTB. Because guess what? They already introduced it to you in the 80s. They would see hippie people in the 80s. Over there in Sweden or Switzerland, one of them damn countries, where they was over there, it was in the club scene at first. These kids, they can get in the club with this little special little C-hip, they can do this, and then it start to spill over there to their workforce. Yeah, man, all you gotta do is, you know, it's like wave your hand, you can clock in, you can buy stuff out the little machines, and everybody think it's real cool, it's fun, it's convenient. Yeah, let's all get it, right?
Yeah, well, during that time, like in the 80s, like it was just a stamp, you know?
Right.
Now that stamp is transitioning to actually being digital.
Yep.
And once you go into that word, mark, charagma, that's one of the definitions of stamp.
Yep. Imprinted mark.
Yeah, an imprinted mark.
Yep.
So that's how you get the stamp, like how they stamp your hand to get into certain places, you know, to show like your identity and like who you are. Guess what? That's gonna be a transition into something being digital. To where that digital stamp, that digital form is gonna be in your body, and that's going to be used to identify you. And that's what the brother's bringing out with that point. Is that stamp and that mark is basically, that's going to be used to basically show, you know, who you are. You know, your identification is going to be it. Basically, your you know, what you do, profile. Because think about it, in the age of social media, you have to create a profile. Your bio, you know, who you are, your introduction.
Right.
Your date of birth, you know, and it have all your info there. Just like Facebook, just like Instagram, just like TikTok or all these other social media platforms, in order for you to have a profile, you have to put all your information in order to register. Or actually, no, you have to register, then he'll ask you to put all your information in there. But it's going to be mandatory in the time to come, to where all your information is going to be downloaded into the system, and your profile, in which compared to Facebook and TikTok and Instagram, your profile is going to have all your information there, your date of birth, social security, all these things like your banking status, your bank account, all that.
Social credit score number, all that.
Which are really, and that's what's going to be implemented into this new system that's coming. Because once it's implemented, then that's when they're going to require people to put in all your information, or to have all the information present when the system takes place. Really, it's going to be there already, because all you got to do, because some platforms, all you got to do is just put in your social security, and then they'll pull up your date of birth, everything, man, where you lived in the last 10 years, But everything is going to be. But the point is that everything is going to be centralized. It goes back to that Latin phrase, pluribus unum. Out of many one. To where everything is going to be brought into one platform or one place. And that brings me back to Genesis, where it speaks about the Tower of Babel, where all the people were one and they spoke one language. That's the same. Yeah, get that real quick. Because that's where that was the beginning of what you see right now, on how the people were being brought together as one, and how they were speaking one language, and they were all together underneath one banner. Same thing is happening here in America, and it's no coincidence that this place is recorded in the scriptures, and the scriptures deem this place Babylon the Great. So now you see this tower being constructed once again, and all the people being brought together as one people. And what's that? Americans. You got African Americans, Latino Americans. You got Esau calling himself Americans.
Right.
Native Americans.
Indian American,
Indian
Chinese American, Japanese American. But they don't say Russian American. They don't say that.
Right. Yeah, so all these people being into one umbrella, into one people, speaking all one language, which is the universal language. And that universal language is what? English. And you have to speak that language in order to even be a part of the system, or be a part of this infrastructure all put together. You got to speak the language of English in order to have diplomatic meetings, or to have any sort of discussion as far as what's going to be the next move. You got to know English.
Yep.
Even if you're in some other far off part of the world, you got to know the language. But that's what's required. So it's no different than Tower of Babel in Genesis, man. Everybody being brought together as one. All people speaking one language. Being, again, a pluribus unum. Out of many one. That's why that Latin phrase has been coined, and even the military. Because in the military, that's their whole, that's a part of them. Even though you got somebody that might be Levite or Ammonite or Ishmaelite or whatever, what they do, they basically strip you of your base nationality. So that's what they do. Basically, when you get in the military, they strip your nationality. They strip you of your nationality, and they bring you together, and they say, and they'll tell you and program you to have the mentality and the mindset of everybody being as one people, or being one group, moving in unity. You know, you're all this one platoon. You know, there's no individuality in the military. When you go into basic training, and they show all of it. That's why they cut your hair, shave you. They basically have you in the mindset, y'all, every single one of you are the person. You know, you're the same people. You know? Again, pluribus unum. You know? But guess what? That in itself is going against the ordinance of the Yahweh Shema Shah. Why? Because when you read in Deuteronomy, the 32nd chapter. Actually, hold what you got. Get Deuteronomy 32. And it's been a while since we brought this up. But it says, scripture where it says he divided. Yeah, get that real quick. You can find it. It's in Deuteronomy 32. Yeah, the Lord divided the nations. He divided the people. Esau, what he's doing, he's bringing all the people together as one, man. The Lord's not with everything together, man. If that's the case, then where would the inheritance come in? You know? The Lord only reserved one people to himself. He didn't bring Esau in. He put far off Esau. He didn't bring the Ishmaelites in. The Ishmaelites don't have anything to do with the son of the free woman, because Ishmael is the son of the bond woman, you know, and they're separated. And all other people outside of the nation of Israel, you don't have no part in its inheritance, man. The Lord's not going to bring a stranger. See that? The Lord's not going to bring a stranger into his inheritance, man. You know. That's all. That's going outside the bloodline. And when you look at history, kings of the past never dealt that way. Right. It never went outside that bloodline. It was all in the family. Like, this son will inherit this, the next son will inherit this, and the next son, and it keeps going. That family line keeps going. Right. So the narrative never changed. Since kings did it in the past, guess what, man? You think about it. Where did that come from? Where did the kings of the past get that from? Where did the idea come from? Pass it down the lineage down to their son, and then down the generations to their son, man. They all go back to the nation of Israel, man. That lineage. That's where it started. Because we were the first to do that. We were the first to be a part of that lineage. And then other people followed after that in their own little kingdom, or their own little time of rulership and dominion that they had, man. And they follow after that same ordinance, taking down the rulership down to their sons, man. So what changed? You know, you're here in America, you're here in Babylon, man, and the story never changed. They have you think that everybody's the same people, everybody's one, everybody's in union with each other. No, man. Oh man, it's not gonna. It doesn't work in this current time, man. Because look at the result. Now you got riots, you got people jogging for position, wars breaking out, because you got people trying to fight for that rulership and that crown, because everybody think that they have a chance at getting the throne, man, or having some type of rulership, man. That brings about chaos, man. There's no order in that. So that's why the Lord set up the ruling class in the first place, which again is Israel, to always have that position and governing the planet Earth as being the prince of the power. Okay, and a prince eventually becomes a king, right? That's right. So the prince of the power, we're gonna become the next kings to rule, man. All right, you got up.
Deuteronomy 32:8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
Yeah, man. So the Lord divided the people. And he did it according to the number of Israel. So now going back to Genesis, where it speaks about the Tower of Babel, that was in opposition against the ordinance of the Lord Yahweh Bashar and how he set things up from the beginning. The Lord was with that, he was never with that, man. He wasn't with people coming together as one. That's why he broke all that up. And he confounded the languages of the people because of that, man. And guess what? He's going to set separation of the earth once again, man. If you want to talk about separatism, you got the creators of the heaven and earth.
Yeah. They are big separatists. That is what they do.
Yeah, because all according to order. If you want to put things in order, right, you don't mix the rice with the beans and all that up in the stew. You know? That's all. That's confusion, man. You know what's in there, man.
Yeah.
You know? You're supposed to separate the rice, the beans. Even when you look at the way food is, man. You got rice, which is like carbohydrate. You got the meat, which is protein, and you got this and that. You know, it was never meant to mix together, man. Okay. So you got different levels of meats too. You got meat, you got the fatty meats.
Yep.
You know, you got the carbs that are complex carbs. Yep. You got simple carbs. You know, like the bread. So how much more would, man? How much more in dividing the nations in their own lives? Because mind you, when the kingdom is established, the nations, they're gonna have their own little part in the earth. You know, their own inheritance of what they get. So the Lord's not gonna separate that from here. But keep in mind that they're going to be subject to the nation that has appointed to be the rulers. See, that's the difference. See, the Lord is a just power, man. You know, he's not going to, just take everything, that's it. No, man, Ishmael going to have their own thing, Ham, they're going to have their own little inheritance, what they got. The only nation that's not going to have no part whatsoever is going to be Esau, because he's been slated to have no type of inheritance because he attempted to murder his brother, and this is the judgment that he's receiving right now by not getting a single damn thing in the kingdom to come, man. The only thing that he has is slavery. That's the only thing he has. What you got? What you get?
This is to back up the elder right here, you know what I'm saying? Because mind you, Esau was promised none damnation, all right? And that's in the New Testament, all right? When it was time to get that sin, Esau was rejected. Hebrews 12 and verse 17, for ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no place of repentance, though he sought carefully with tears.
Yeah, so he had no place of repentance, man. He had no whatsoever in any sort of inheritance or promises or anything. He's been left out to dry. And when you look at it, the reason why, which we always talk about, is because of his birthright. For something that's temporary. He saw his birth something that's not even worth, even giving up that's precious as a birthright, man. But he gave it up just to eat for a little bit, which shows to the Most High that he does not hold anything sacred, man. Right. So that's why that the promise was given over to Jacob, because by Esau giving away his birthright, it basically showed every single person, and also the Most High as well, that if he was birthright, then he would have just casted it away, just for anything, man, just to satisfy himself, man.
That's just how carnal that man is.
Yeah, and you see it even in what he does today. Like, he'll even sacrifice his own family,
Yeah.
to get where he wants to get to.
Yeah.
That's when you have certain Jakes that get into the industry, they have to make some sort of sacrifice. Most of the time, it be their own family members, man.
Yup.
That's the same mentality that Esau got, man. He would sacrifice his own nation,
Yup.
to get to where he is, man. Look at these lower level, man.
They hurting too.
Yeah, these low level Edomites, that's like, you even see Edomites out in the streets, man.
Yeah.
You know?
You see more homeless Edomites than Jake. You know what I'm saying? And also Edomites on EBT than Jake too.
Yeah.
I be seeing more, you know what I'm saying, more so-called white people with the little, you know what I'm saying, his card, you know what I'm saying, the little, you know what I'm saying, food stamp card, man. You know? So that just goes to show that Esau don't even give a fuck about his own people. But guess what? This gonna be an upgrade to what these devils gonna be going through in the kingdom, though. All of the hell that these low-level Edomites is catching, that's gonna be an upgrade, you know, because they ain't gonna be pulling in and out of Hondas, you know, Mazdas and shit. You know what I'm saying? You Edomites not gonna be doing that. Y'all gonna be walking promptly 4 a.m. in the morning, and y'all gonna be hitting that plantation, man. You know what I'm saying? So all of that eating Bojangles and all that bullshit that they be doing now, and then Red Baron pizzas and all that, man. Oh, that's a wrap, man. You know, so you ain't gonna be eating none of that shit, man. All right? That's only if we decide you that day. All right? It's gonna be foot in your ass slavery for 1,000 years, and then after that 1,000 years, y'all gonna have to walk the damn plank. Thus saith the Yahweh Shema Washah. This ain't no black and white thing. It's a white thing. All right? What have the so-called white man done as a nation? They have still killed and have fucked up everything, man. Okay? All of that vengeance is gonna go right back on them. So, all right, what goes around comes around, man. Our grandma tell us that. The scriptures say you reap what you sow. So what have this nation have been reaping? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like sowing. What have they been sowing, man? Death and destruction, man, and heartache, and adding on to our affliction and kicking us when we down, man. All of that got to get back, man. And the Lord said it's gonna go back to them times 2. All of the stuff that they did to us, and all the creative things that we gonna do to their ass, man. All right, it has to happen. That is the reparation. It ain't no check. It ain't no, you know what I'm saying, man, 'cause they were saying that Trump was trying to give out $5 million to descendants of slaves. Man, that's bullshit, man. He just doing that to butter y'all up. Esau would have been paid you if he wanted to pay you. He would have been gave you a check. It ain't about no check. It's about them going through what we went through. Only thing they can do is just pay your black ass and you happy? A check can't bring your grandmama back.
Right.
A check can't bring back great-great-granddaddy Ulysses hanging from a fucking tree. So a slave owner on a damn bill. So a damn Andrew Jackson that hates Native Americans, by the way.
Yeah, that's a spit in the face, man.
It's a spit in the face.
Because you paying back blood with money, man. You know? You already know when you're reading our numbers, at least the 35th chapter, it says the land cannot be cleansed unless blood is shed, man.
Yep.
Money is not gonna repay all the blood that was shed here in this land, man. In case of point, the northern tribes, man. Now, when you think about the northern tribes and what they experienced and what they went through concerning this man coming to this land, it was a massacre, man. The Northern Kingdom was almost extinguished because of this man's evil doings by destroying the Northern Kingdom, man, day by day. And it was a sport to Esau to do that, man. It was a sport for Esau to destroy the Northern Kingdom, the Northern tribes, just for the hell of it, man. That's why you can't pay back all these people, man. And then guess what? Another example with the Northern tribes, they promised you 40 acres and a mule. Where's your 40 acres?
Right.
Where's your mule?
They gave him 40 ounces and a pit bull. And Jake is happy with that.
Yeah, they gave
As long as they got a blunt, as long as they got their niggas in that fucking yard with no grass, and they playing dominoes, they satisfied.
They gave him reservations, man.
Yup.
You know, reservations and quote unquote benefits.
Casinos.
Yeah, that's it. That's all they gave you, man. They didn't give you no land. They didn't give you your land back, man. You know, because they believe themselves to be Americans. They say that, oh yeah, we're Americans. You know, which is the height of hypocrisy, man. You're just a visitor that just came over and killed the house owner. You know?
Man.
That's what it is, man. Like you break into somebody's house, you know? And this is how Esau did it, man. Like you knock on the door,
Right.
you invite yourself in, and then
he invited himself in.
yeah. Like he invited himself in, and then he just come in and just take a knife to the homeowner,
Damn.
kill the wife, kill the kids, and even kill the dog.
Damn.
You know?
That's what that devil would do too.
And that's exactly what he did to the northern tribes, man.
Yeah. And then rounded them up, all right, for the Spanish Inquisition, man. You know? That was a tough time for Native Americans, man. So-called Native Americans, because there's no such thing as a Native American. All right, how the hell can you be native to a land that was called something different?
Well,
you know?
even saying that, even giving them the title of Native American means that they're Americans.
Right.
So who the hell are you?
Right.
You know? Well, you know, who are you then? Because when you're native, that means that you are the original people of that land.
That's right.
Like when you have a native language, basically you speak that language of the land.
Right.
So people that are native to the land, that means that that's their land. So who the fuck are you?
Exactly.
You know? But just to say that they're Native Americans and saying that you're an American, man, that's way the fuck off, man.
That's way off.
So now what is it, man? I mean, really, it's confusing. Because if you calling the northern tribe Native American, that basically calls you out.
Yeah.
See that?
That's a beautiful point. You're right. You're right. You're right.
You're putting yourself on the scene of the crime at that point.
You're right.
I mean,
you're right.
It's like saying,
You're right. You're right.
It's like saying, you know, this is the original owner, but I'm gonna call myself this, you know, I'm gonna call myself by this name. But then when you pull up the records, like, hold on,
You was there and you had something to do with it.
things don't add up.
The math ain't mathing.
The math ain't mathing right now.
You know, the math is not mathing. You know, and those boarding schools, man. Oh man, there's some horrid stories about those boarding schools, man. That the so-called Native Americans have to go through. You know, they were forced to get their hair cut. You know that long hair is a sin. You're supposed to have a long hair here, man. That's over with. But you know, in the Native American culture, quote unquote, they have, you know, a long hair type of culture. They was forced to get it cut. They was forced not to speak their native tongue. They was only forced to speak English. All right, they was beat if they actually was called by their real name or they actually talked amongst themselves. They was beat. You know, they was raped, molested. All of those, a lot of horrid stories. All right, of those damn boarding schools in like the early 1900s, you know, late 1800s. All right, man, I'm telling you, man, it was a lot of diabolical things going in there, man, at the cost of the so-called white man, you know. And this devil gonna have to pay for that, man, because he is the author of all mischief, but he is not gonna escape the hands of Yahweh Shema Shah. I don't give a damn what this devil got going on in his mind or in that nice little nifty notebook of wickedness that, you know, he like to come up with in these damn meetings that they be talking about. See, Yahweh Shah finna bring all their strength to the earth, man. All right, to the point where, you know what I'm saying, to the point where, man, the Lord gonna make it to where being a so-called white man is, you know, that ain't gonna be the hot thing now, all right? Because as you can see, all of that is fucking going away now, all right? Who gives a damn if you so-called white? Back in the 50s and 40s and stuff like that, may have been a thing in the 1700s or going on back, that may have been a thing. But now in 2025, prophecy is hitting so hard, the love of many is waxing cold, all right, from the righteous end and the 2/3 end, to the point where we don't give a damn, people don't give a damn about no damn Edomite, you know, about your skin color. That is gonna determine what, man, these people out here hurting. They don't give a damn about that. They will just straight shove a pistol in your face within a heartbeat. Everybody around here, if you actually look, everybody around here do not have smiles on their faces, even the Edomites. You used to see an Edomite walk down the road and all of that type of things and smiling, and now they got frowns like Jake in the Hood now. I was just in Sprouts the other day. I'm seeing Edomites pick up stuff and put that shit right the fuck back. I'm seeing it. Everybody's seeing it, man. You know, because that's prophecy, man. All right. You start to see these devils get more and more through every single day. All right. Those curses is slowly but surely kissing Esau on the cheek. They get more and more through every day. And then on top of that, when Jacob's trouble hit, that's when the curses is going to start to turn. But when Yahweh Shah come back, that's when it's going to be completely reversed. All right. Because it's going to be gradual. The same way we're going to be gradually brought into power, they're going to be gradually getting the curses thrown on their ass, you know? Because there's a serial killer in Huntsville Loose. They found five bodies, 2 of them by Airport Road, you know? So the love of many waxing cold, man, you know? And look, now look, it's 5 and counting, you know, because they already found like two by the river or something like that, and they all connected, you know, in Huntsville, where we at, you know. But I got yeah, man. Death Angel.
That's why the scripture speaks about the spirit that created the visions. You're thinking about it, yeah. You better get it. Get it.
God. I got Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 28. It reads, "There be spirit."
Yeah, that's it.
God, there be spirits that are created for vengeance.
Yeah, so those spirits are created for vengeance, man. The Lord set certain spirits in the earth to exact the vengeance of Yahweh Bashar Shah. You know? And certain, when you look at it, man, you know, certain people that get caught, things of that nature, when they get interrogated, they be like, I don't know, like I wasn't even thinking at the time. You know? Or they'll say like, oh, well, there was a voice that told them to do it. I mean, hey, that's that spirit. That's that death angel, man, that told them, hey, brother, go in and exact my will. You know? So those spirits that are created from vengeance, you know, they're out and about right now. I mean, it's in every major city, you know.
Yeah.
You know, our little neck of the woods, you know, we're not the only ones, man. And guess what? Your own little neck of the woods, there's a serial killer out there, man.
Yep. That just haven't got caught yet.
Yeah, they're just going about acting the will of the Heavenly Father, man. And they haven't gotten caught, man. And they haven't been reported. That's why certain people come up missing.
Look at Jeffrey Dahmer, man. Like the Lord was with him for like a little, you know what I'm saying, like a small little moment, because he was only killing sodomites. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about left and right, and then was eating them and shit, cutting off their heads and shit, putting it in the refrigerator, and just all this weird ass shit, man. You know, but he was only killing sodomites. And then the Lord was with that dude, man, for like a small little bit, man, because you know, so there's a show called Dahmer. Yep. It was based on a true story on his life, and then he got pulled over by like a sheriff. He had a whole body in the damn trunk, smelling like rotten meat, rotten flesh. And then he said, "Yeah, it's a pig. We went hunting." Just said some dumbass, goofy shit, and then the cop bought it, and then just let him free, man. But no, man, like the Lord sealed that police's you know what I'm saying? He sealed his instructions before the night before, man. Like, yo, man, you're gonna let that man go. You know, he have to go ahead and do my will. And then as soon as his will was done of killing the sodomites, the Lord got him killed by a Jake. The same ones that he was killing, the Jake killed him. But he got killed with like a 45, you know what I'm saying, like barbell weight. He just slammed it on his face and beat him to death with it. That's how Dahmer died. He died in the damn gym, man. You know? But that just goes to show, man, that, you know, spirits created for vengeance. A lot of these people out here on the ziggity boom purging, all right? And the Lord gonna be with them for a little bit until the Lord zap their ass. Got somebody out here doing complete impulsive wickedness. Just because the police out here, you're gonna be having people out here just gonna be committing murders just because they can do it, just because the power is out, just because you can't call nobody. You're gonna be having people just doing it just for the fuck of it, for shits and giggles, man. All right, people are evil. I don't know why people don't be thinking that, Elder. Like, oh no, it can never be that. What? You don't think there's evil out here? Evil exists. And then, you know, shit, man, I wouldn't be surprised if I see a person being sacrificed on a damn Instagram on somebody's front lawn in that day, man. You got a lot of mischievous, evil people out here, malicious, man. All right? You don't know what these people be thinking nowadays. All right? Only if you could pull up a person's Google search history, that'll tell you everything. All right? Say, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their, and look, man, you know, animals can be created for vengeance, you know? You know, there's a thing going around talking about some 100 gorillas or like 100 people versus a gorilla and all that. Yeah. You can't do nothing with a damn gorilla. They can flip a car twice, 3 or 4 times. And then on top of that, you pissed them off. And you barehanded and he's barehanded. You ain't gonna do nothing. You can't do nothing with an animal, man. All right, with no animal. You can get the smallest insect that's poisonous enough, it can kill you. You know what I'm saying? How about Shema Shah gonna have spirits created for vengeance? And look, he could put that spirit in a damn black widow spider. And then as soon as you put your hand on there, it crawl, bite your ass. You ain't gonna turn into damn Peter Parker. You're gonna be headed to the grave pretty soon, man. All right? You gonna be people getting attacked by dogs. Somebody gonna pop the locks on these damn zoos. Somebody is. All right? You're gonna try to hunker down in a house and you're gonna see a tiger meeting you at the front door, looking up and looking at you, fucking looking you up and down. You know? Spirits created, right? Now it's a which in their fury lay on sore strokes. You hear that? And that fury is coming from the throne. All right? You don't know what these motherfuckers was doing behind closed doors. You don't know. I don't know. All right? So when you see some getting ate off by some baboons over there, You would know why. You would know why, like, oh, damn, I don't know, man. Shit, man, the Lord had to get with him, man. Let me go. I don't want to go nowhere near where he's at. You know? Or, who knows, you may meet somebody during Jacob's trouble, and then they want to probably kidnap you and eat you. You know? Look at the time of the book of Eli. They wanted to eat Eli. You remember the part, you know, when they was under the bridge? Those was cannibals. Yeah, those was cannibals. Those wasn't somebody that just wanted his little bag and his water and his gloves and all that. They wanted to eat that man. And you're going to be having a lot of people out here that's going to be looking scrumptious in that day because this nigga ain't ate in 2 weeks and he already got a dog-eat-dog mind, and he going to be looking at you like a juicy steak. You going to have that, man. Why? Because he already ran out of kids he done ate. He already ate the family dog and cat, all right? And then on top of that, he already gained 20 pounds from doing it. So, you know, see, a lot of these niggas gonna turn into cannibals. They already used to eating human meat already. You know, all them fucking nuggets and all that. You know, sausage, breakfast sausage and all that. You eating missing fucking kids. People finding teeth in their McDonald's now. This fucking lady crying and shit, talking about some, you still gonna buy it, you're still gonna buy, you bought it. Feeding your goddamn kids, damn other kids, that's damn missing in they damn teeth is in the damn food, man.
I'm pretty sure she was already told about it before.
Yep.
She was ignorant about how the food was, and like what they were actually eating, man. But some people just don't give a damn. Like, you can tell them 100 times that the food they eating has this or that in it, but they'll go eat it anyway.
Yep.
Because you have no fucking discipline, man.
Right.
You ain't got no. In other words, these people are hard-headed, man. And to the point of where they realize that, and to the point of where they actually run into a situation. Then they want to get it together and just, you know. And that's how these people, and that's how they got to learn this time, man. When Jacob's trouble happens, that's when they're going to want to listen.
They got to feel it at that point.
Yeah.
They got to feel it.
Because words not going to do it.
They got to feel it.
Words are not going to do it, man.
Nope.
We're way past the point of words being exchanged.
Yeah.
Between the prophets and the people, man.
So
now, like you said, now they gotta feel it.
They have to. They have to. There is no other way. There is no other way because we out here using words now. We are singing the lyrics of Yahweh Shema Rashad every time we bring out these precepts. You know, they're not singing and dancing like how the Lord needs them to sing and dance. You know. Okay, because this true untainted gospel, I'm telling you, man, this is Yahweh Shai's jammy jams, man. He jamming. He like, oh yeah, man, this is what I want to hear. All right, he don't want to hear about fucking Drewski or these other motherfuckers out here, man. The Lord don't give a damn about them niggas. They all finna play out. Drewski got blonde hair. Okay, he's a rat. And all these niggas that follow these celebrities and all of that, look, man, you hold on to the world, man. All right? Those are not the lyrics you need to be listening to and taking in. You need to be taking in the lyrics, all right, to Yahweh Shema Rashad, because this is what's really going to get your mind right, not a blunt. A blunt can't get your mind right, but this word can. This word can get your mind right, though. This can for sure get you right. You know, it can keep you at a level ahead to the point where you start seeing shit fall apart out here. You ain't gonna bug out like this nigga across the street. You ain't gonna bug out like this motherfucker right here driving around looking at us. Or those niggas that be driving when the Shalom to camp. They'll say, oh, it's stiff, like. To make sure you lock eyes with them so they can keep going.
Yeah, they want to be
I can't stand them motherfuckers.
they want to be acknowledged.
Right. To make sure, like, yo, you see the fist? I know the fist.
I'm with you, brothers.
You know,
I agree.
I agree. I know the fist. Man, I can't stand them niggas, man. I watch the videos. I know. Well, then bring your ass here then. Because we ain't gonna have no answers for you when all hell break loose. You really think we finna be out here teaching when all hell break loose? You out of your fucking mind, man. We gonna be somewhere ducked off head, Lord's will. We ain't finna be out here like One Body and all these other like IUIC now. You know, bantering with motherfuckers. Like, we're not finna be doing that. Nah. Y'all gonna be searching and we ain't gonna be here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna hold this right quick and get that right quick. Because that famine of the word, that Amos 8:11 gonna make a lot of y'all stomach hurt, man.
Yeah.
Y'all stomach gonna be hurt when that Amos come out.
Literally and spiritually.
Yeah.
You know? Because, mind you, it's not just going to be a physical famine, it's also going to be a spiritual famine too, which your brother's about to bring out. The Lord, when that famine happens, man, look, the Lord is going to just let it just spew out, man. And what I mean by that is that he's going to make you feel that famine on every single level. From the body, to the mind, to the spirit. Famine. No food, no hearing of the word, and no mental stability.
You're gonna be a vegetable out here, like a moving vegetable,
Like
just
you
here.
Just sitting there just looking, got that staring off into space. Like you don't know.
Hey.
Like you a vegetable, like you said.
Right, just
Like you in a dead state.
just here.
You just existed.
Man,
You know?
perplexed as hell.
Yeah.
Don't know what it is up, ain't got an answer for nothing. You don't know what the fuck going on.
Yep. Yeah, so when that famine hits, man, like the famine word is also going to follow after that. You know, really it's going to follow during Jacob's trouble when the troops started coming down.
Yeah.
Martial law kicks in. Because really when martial law kicks in, that's when the famine word is going to take place. That's when famine of food is going to take place. And you gonna,
all the other executive orders gonna get implemented too.
Yeah, you're not going to know which way is up. You're not going to know what's right from wrong. You're going to try to find your own establishment and try to survive.
Yep, and Frankie Beverly Mays ain't gonna get you through this one, man.
Yeah, because when that time comes, man, everybody's gonna be on survival mode.
Yep.
You see, right now, these people they don't have no fight or flight whatsoever, man.
Nope.
And that's completely out of consideration, man. They just walking about day by day. Like their awareness has been depleted. To where even if they hear about some sort of danger,
They don't care.
they just continue on. Yeah, exactly. They just keep going.
As long as it ain't on my front doorstep,
Right.
I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
if it's on your doorstep, it's too late, idiot.
Yeah, as long as it's not affecting their family
Right,
and their kids,
right,
they don't give a fuck.
right. Or my money, or my job, or my this and that. Okay, man, the Lord finna snatch all that from you, man. You ain't about to have a job soon. Why? Because AI finna take your shit.
Yep.
Why? Because the UBI isn't gonna take it too. All right? UBI is Universal Basic Income. You ain't gonna have no fucking job with a UBI. Not at all. You finna be inadequate in your little room with a government issued tablet with a damn C-hip in you, man. If not, you will be somewhere in a cage, somewhere in the building. All right? That's how it's gonna be. All right? A universal basic income is what you're gonna be having. You know? And they're gonna start it off with California. They're gonna make that a whole digital city. They trying to buy up all the old schools. They trying to do that right now. They trying to buy up all the Monte Carlos, all the old schools, they trying to buy up all that shit and try to replace it with electric and stuff like that. Because mind you, You can't have a gas-powered car in the MOTV system. You got to get rid of that shit because the MOTV, you ain't going to be able to have a car without scanning yourself in there, man. Look at Tesla and all these others, eco-friendly cars is what they like to call it. But it's Amos 8:11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. Because y'all been misusing the prophets. Look at what y'all been doing. Y'all been misusing us, mocking, scoffing, talking shit. Y'all just think we just some niggas that's just standing on the corner like the Lord not dealing with us or something. They acting like the Lord really ain't dealing with us out here, man. All right? They don't even know our life. They don't know what we do behind closed doors praying to Yahweh Shem Shah. They don't know about the Passovers we kept and the Sabbaths that we kept to the best of our ability, man. They don't know that. They don't know about that personal relationship that we got with Yahweh Shem Shah. All right? But we not Jay-Z, man. That's the thing. Damn. We ain't Jay-Z, man. We not some old rich nigga or nothing like that. No, man, we got the poor man's wisdom, all right? And it's rich, and it's wealthy, you know? All right? Having this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, man, we gonna get exalted one day because of that, man. The Lord is gonna look at us like stones on the crown. You know? This is what we fighting for, to be exalted, you know? We're not trying to be regular smugglers, man. We're trying to be a part of the governing body of under Yahweh Shai. You know? We're not trying to, be like these 2/3 out here, man. Because they ain't got nothing to live for. They don't have a purpose. Even though that if you an Israelite man, your purpose is to teach. Your purpose is to be in this truth if you an Israelite. Because the Lord is not finna come back and deliver an American. He isn't going to come back and deliver a, real nigga, or he isn't going to come back and deliver an Hispanic or something like that. No, he's not doing none of that modern bullshit. That is garbage. He is not going to come back and merge his kingdom with Taco Hell or with McDevils or with Murder King or Cracks or, all of these weird ass fucking restaurants that filled with, kill filet with all them chemicals in that fucking chicken. You really think the Lord finna make a Yahweh Shai chicken sandwich up in here and you out of your mind? He finna burn all that shit. All that shit finna get burnt. As it rightfully should. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and even from the north, even to the east. Hey, man, where them prophets at, man? There they go. They was over there. And then they'll go over there, it'll be like a mirage of the prophets. And they go over there, it's gonna be 2 stones. They're gonna be looking crazy. They're gonna be looking crazy that day, man. Like, where is the prophets? I need this answer, man. What was that name that they were saying when they used to turn over to the side and it's something with a shy in it? Or show, or is it a shy? What is it? Damn, man, what's that name that they were saying, man? It was like 2 of them though. It was something. Was they saying, damn, what they saying? Y'all them, man, what was they saying, bro? All them gold tooth niggas, man, we ain't gonna be there. You gonna have to figure it out, my guy. Because you had the opportunity when you was laughing and you was saying we was lame and you was saying we was square and you want to up 20 bands and do all the money shit. No, keep the same energy. Why eat this can of crackers over here or something and drink this nice water, Because I'm going to be petty. I'm going to gargle the water before I drink it in front of these niggas, Because, mind you had the opportunity to get the living water. Just like that time they tried to play Yahweh Shai, man. You know what I'm saying? They was only there just to eat. Yep. They weren't there for, for what the Lord done did. No, I'm going to gargle the water in front of these niggas. Because those was the same ones that was eating and didn't give a damn about what Yahweh Shai was talking about. But I guarantee you, if we had Zuzus and Wham Whams up here with chips and Sprites and all this other weird ass shit. I guarantee you people will stop and want to listen in.
Yeah, that's really counting.
Yup.
They had like a table, like pamphlets and stuff like that.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. You talking like ISUPK and them?
Yeah. Like they'll give out food and stuff like that. You don't even know that word. You just feeding into those Israelites that were doing the same thing when Yahweh shot, man.
Yeah.
Which really puts you on display.
Yeah.
Showing how your ministry is, man.
Yeah.
You're just there to feed the flesh.
And this ain't no rehabilitation center, man. We just prophets. Our job is to tell you, you know what I'm saying, like what's to come, warn you, all right? And then that's it, man. Like we're not here to rehabilitate a nigga, man. You know what I'm saying? Give out care packages to the homeless. No, man, we're not here for that. If you want to help a homeless person, that's fine. Do it off camera, behind closed doors, help a person. You know what I'm saying? Don't film it like these niggas. Because the Lord ain't going to look at it like, oh, yeah, y'all did a great deed. No, you going to get your little, you know, whatever type of recognition you going to get. Okay, you going to get that little recognition, and then the Lord going to leave it right there. Because you filming it. You ain't supposed to film that. You know, it's like a person that's legitimately in need and they hungry, and you filming, look, I'm giving him a pizza.
Yeah,
like,
you're doing it for theatrics.
Yeah.
Just to show, you know, basically your virtue signal.
Mm-hmm.
You're virtue signal because you're just showing people like, hey, I did this good thing, you know, or like I'm a good person because I did this. Look what I did, you know. Oh man, because if you look at the works of Yahweh Shai, it was private. Like all the miracles that he did, it was all private, man. He wasn't about being in the public and doing all this and that. He much rather, his mindset was to do the work of the Lord, man. Do the work of the Most High. Those miracles that he did when he healed certain Israelites. What was the common thing with Yahweh Shai when he healed them? He said, look, don't tell anybody, don't tell about what you saw or what just happened. You know? But sometimes like in that account, like sometimes you have Israel, they'll go and tell people because it was so out of this world.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
they couldn't believe it, you know?
Jake can't hold water, goddamn it.
No, it's like when you tell somebody, they'll just go ahead and gossip every single. They go tell their mom, their grandma,
Yeah, man, that's
their
Jake.
uncle, their auntie,
That's
cousin.
Jake. Yep.
And then their cousins
Word
tell
of
their,
mouth.
Yeah, their cousins tell their cousins, their aunties tell their grandmother, and all this and that. And then you got all Israel just
Yep.
out of the blue, just showing up out of nowhere. And you like, what?
Right. Like, where all these people came, right?
You know?
How they know?
That's how. It's like that would happen a lot of times. Like you remember the time when you had like a family member that have a wedding, or family reunion, or something like that. Like they'll bring like the distant cousin,
Right.
and then the cousin bring their brother.
Right. You ain't
You
never
know?
even met them before.
Yeah, senior boy, you know. That's how they were doing when Yahweh Shai was healing them, man. They'll tell all damn Israel, man. And they all show up, you know. And then Yahweh Shai would just go off. Sometimes he would hide himself,
Yeah.
you know, because he didn't want to deal with all this. It wasn't his intention to try to. That is a clear sign to show you that Yahweh Shai wasn't there just to
Be a rehabilitation.
to try to get every single Israelite
Yeah.
in what he was teaching, man,
Right.
or get them on board.
Right.
Him excluding himself from the crowd, himself, and try to get away from you, man. Even when they try to crown him,
Right.
he ran away. He tried to escape. Why is that? Because he didn't want to be in the spotlight like that. Because he know that I'm not here for this, man. You don't want to be exalted like that, man. Because it was first of all, it wasn't time yet. But another reason is because he didn't want to. He didn't want to present himself to all Israel and then on to the ones that believe.
That's right.
That's why he did these subtle works. Because those subtle works speak volumes. Like if you see something that's subtle, you believe in that, that lets you know that somebody actually believes.
That's right.
But when you do something like God and everybody can see it's in front of everybody, man, of course everybody gonna come in, but it's not genuine.
That's right.
Like, it's not sincere. Like, they don't really believe. You know, they're there for that moment because they saw that, but they're not genuine about it because it's out in the open in front of people. That's the mindset of a lot of Jakes today, man. Like, if it's not out in the open or this and that, they're not gonna believe it.
Right.
But this setting right here, this is sober. This is a project. You know, even though we're in the highways and byways, right? We're in the midst of the people, but still, it's you know. Because when we talk about, we're not trying to get a single person like, hey, you across the street, come on, you know, man.
Right. It's like them niggas with the microphones. Hey, yo, you know, it's just in the rent. Where them pants? Like, like they just be all screaming to people all across the street. We ain't doing that.
Where you dress, sister?
Right. Where your head wrap at?
Where's your head wrap?
Calling y'all asses out.
Why you not covered up?
Right. Right.
Hey, get yourself, get right. You're out of order.
I'm talking to them, cuff the whole microphone and everything, and talking, man, these niggas, man.
Who you are, you Israelite.
Right.
You Israelite, brother.
All right. Yeah, man, but the whole inside of they cup is hell, though.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Yeah.
The whole inside of they cup dirty. You know?
But like we were saying earlier, that just go to show you the like what the intentions behind the ministry and what they present themselves as far as like what they're teaching, or rather how they present it. Because Yahweh Shai presented his word in like a private setting, even like what they call the Last Supper. It was an enclosed setting. Like, he didn't invite all Israel in that supper, in that gathering. It was just only a few.
That's it.
That were there during the Passover in the house, Simon's house.
Yeah, man. And, you know, so like his mother wasn't even present.
Yeah.
But you got one Passover with balloons and garlic mash and fucking garlic and herb butter for the lamb. You know? Where's the bitter herbs at? Where that's at? You know? And really the lamb helped the bitter herbs.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like it calms down the bitter. You know what I'm saying? Like the lamb do, man. That's Yahweh Shai.
Yep.
You know? So in this truth, man, you can find rest. You know what I'm saying? Through Yahweh Shai, man.
Yeah, romaines ain't gonna cut it.
Hell no. Oh yeah, man. Them romaine. Oh man, romaine. And look, man, he gonna say, I don't like radish because I don't like it. Like, man, if you don't calm down with that soft ass shit, man, that's how you know that them niggas love Babylon, man. Because if you at Passover and you made lettuce, you love Babylon. You love what this place got to offer, and you made a lot of money here, and you want to continue. That's what that means. But I got Matthew right quick. Matthew 6:4. Thine alms may be in secret, and thy Father which is in secret himself shall reward thee openly. You hear that? So if you help, you do it behind closed doors to where it rewards you openly versus doing it openly. You already got your little kudos for it, so the Lord just gonna leave it right there. Like, okay, well, you already got rewarded openly. Look at all the daps you got, and look at the GoFundMe page that you did. All you did was pass out $15 worth of pizza, started a GoFundMe page, and now you got 15,000. And you didn't even put that back into the homeless. You went and bought a fucking headcat. You went and dropped that down on some denim tears and on some Gala Depot clothes, man. You went and dropped that on a fucking a damn fucking pound of weed, man. You know? These niggas out here they don't have the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shah, man. Especially ISK doing all of that fundraising bullshit, man. You supposed to be teaching. Alright? You ain't supposed to be out here passing out cookies, cakes, and fucking t-shirts, man. That is not what this ministry was about. Okay? Yes, man. Yahweh Shah did in fact help a multitude of people. Now, mind you, it was 5,000 men that he helped, that he counted, because the men had families. All right, and that, you know, off of 5 loaves, you know, so was it you know, some bread and some loaves, you know, like some fish and loaves, man. All right, and fed everybody till they filled the 5,000 men families. All right, okay, so that don't mean go and start a Salvation Army for Hebrews. That don't mean that. You just went and started a fucking Goodwill. Now you got a Goodwill, Hebrews. Like, that don't mean do that. See, Jake just take it and just go completely left with shit, man. You know, like, no, teach. Feed the lambs, man, through the word. You know? Feed them through the word. The Lord said, if you love me, feed my sheep. That don't mean literally go buy some fucking food. You could if you wanted to, but that's not what he's talking about. He's talking about the spiritual food, the word. Having everybody know Yahushua, teaching him, continuing the ministry. Hard about that. Not buying the little lunches that you be getting at school with the apple, the cookie, with the damn little fake ass little switch on the white bread. Like, no. We're not in here for that. We here to warn you. Matter of fact, man, let me get that, man. I got Ezekiel 3:17 right quick. Ezekiel 3 and verse 17. It reads, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman. You hear that? A watchman watch. A watchman is watching for everything. You know? Have you ever seen a watchman in a mafia or something? He watching that damn door. He watching and making sure ain't nothing going down. And if he sees something, he's going to be the first one to tell you. I promise you that. Look at Paul Revere. Watchman. You know? You know what I'm saying? The redcoats are coming. Goats are coming. He telling you like, yo, they got guns. They kill us. Yo, it's trouble that way. And that's what we do, telling you. Hey, the world is about to end, everybody. Okay? This whole monetary system is going to end, everybody. What you see now is not going to continue, everybody. They just what we telling you, man. But you people still walk around with 2 thumbs up. Fuck one. You got 2 up your ass. Walking around like a damn ostrich with his head in the fucking dirt. Not even care. Why? Because they spirits is wax grows. That's why you got, dull of hearing, man. Because you don't give a fuck. So let's see how fast you give a fuck when a Gerber troop got his dick out trying to grab you. Men and women. Yeah. Let's really talk about it. Let's really talk about it. You know? Because people going to be faced with that in that day. It ain't just going to be women out here, man. Esau have pushed that wicked wine across the 4 corners of the earth. I'm scantless. Even while you sleep. You got some Gerber troops out here, bro. And they going to be on the ziggity bone. And they going to be ready to fuck something because they haven't been doing it for however X amount of time.
6'5" Spopovich.
Yeah.
Type of dude.
Hey,
you be thinking that
you talk about the dick off of Rocky, where he was like
yeah. I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about. Damn.
You know what's his name, man? Yeah, I forgot the
I forgot his name, man.
When he was like I am iron or some shit said.
I am iron.
Yeah, man.
You know, type of you gonna be thinking that you gonna look at your woman up and down. Oh, you gonna be looking at you up and down.
For real, man.
You know what I mean, yeah, they get down, man.
For real. Look at the Roman soldiers back in the ancient world and shit like that. They was fucking each other when they was gone for months at a time and shit like that. That's why they had them young ass fucking soldiers with them, because those was they fucking lovers, man. That was they lovers, bro. You know? And these same soldiers gonna be looking at Keyshawn and that whatever the fuck their name is, man. You know? But it say, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. So we warning you. All right? Therefore, hear the word at my mouth. How can you hear the word at the mouth of Yahweh Shai? Through his prophets. Through his ambassadors. Just like off that movie 300. You know, it was an ambassador that came to talk to what's his name? Leonidas, tell him these is the affairs of this side and we need the affairs of your side. But if you treat that liaison ambassador the wrong way, you can literally start an entire war, like world war, just like what he did. Because he had to fight all of the allies of him. He fought damn near the whole world and died at the end. You know? And that's what we're doing, man. We are literally warning you, telling you that there's perilous times that is approaching you, vastly approaching. This ain't nothing where, oh yeah, man, you still got time. You don't even know what fucking time you live. We going by the Gregorian calendar.
Yeah, like we were saying at the beginning, like you're not promised.
Yeah. You know, we're not promised tomorrow, man. And then on top of that, you don't know what time you're living in. I'm not 35. I don't know how old I am. You know, because they added January and February to the calendar. They added that. So obviously the time is gonna get changed and things of that nature. You don't even know what year we in. We could hit that 3,000 mark. You know how everybody keeps saying, like, yeah, man, we got 1,000 years now. No, because you're not measuring out the times diligently. We already at the thing. We already here. We already here, man. You know? The world is like a clock. And it was 10:30 back in the time of Esther. So what time is it now? You know? Verse 18. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, givest him not warning, nor to speak is to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to say, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. Yet, if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. And that's what we doing, washing our hands with Jake. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what Jake done out here. I don't know sins. He could have killed 15 fucking people and not repented, and he worshiped Satan. I don't know what he do. So I'm just going to warn him through the Spirit. If he go ahead and repent, that's great. My hands is washed with you anyway. And that's what we all doing throughout the four corners of earth, man. Being a watchman onto the house of Israel, warning our people. Is the church warning you? All right. Is IUIC warning you? IUIC said that the MOTB is America. That's off. You're not even warning the people. And when that prophecy comes true, that the MOTB is in fact the, you know, the RFID hip, the moment that comes out being mandatory, y'all got a lot of splaining to do. Y'all gonna have a lot of splaining to do, and who knows? Some of your members might want to try to put you to death, you know, because you steered them the wrong way. You're like, damn, man, all I had to do was go to GMS the whole time, and then I'm over here, and I went and got the TB because of you. Man, they gonna try to kill that nigga, man. He gonna have to go in the hide.
Yep.
Geno Jennings too, and all them other niggas, man. They congregation gonna come with them. You know? But you got it out.
Yeah, man. That's why a lot of Jake's gonna be disappointed in their leaders when they find out that what they was just teaching was just bogus, and that they've been given the okie doke.
Yep.
And finding out real quick that what they were teaching wasn't according to the doctrine that Yahweh Shai has taught since the beginning. See, a lot of guys get this confused is that you know, concerning this doctrine, is that this doctrine was meant for all Israel to be warned of the coming danger. So you have to realize concerning what's going on around us and how the times are moving. That's why we said at the beginning, you're supposed to measure the time diligently within yourself. When you measure the time, that means you're supposed to look around and be circumspect and know where things fall in concerning prophecy, man. And the main thing about it is that when you look at what's being taught, the whole overtone is prophecy. And you know, and when you read the scripture, it says the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of what? The spirit of prophecy. Mm-hmm. So if your basis is not around prophecy, then you don't have the spirit of Yahweh Shai on you, man. Okay? And that's why now it's going to come to a point in time where a lot of these leaders are going to get found out about what they're teaching, because the whole overtone of what they're teaching is now centered around prophecy, man. I mean, think about it, man. Yahweh Shah, when he was teaching, that's all he did was prophesy, man. So how much more the servants in that time and in this time now? We're here to prophesy, man, and to warn you on what to avoid. And if you don't, like you read in that scripture in Ezekiel, if you don't take heed to that warning that the prophets are telling you, then the blood, I mean, what? The blood is on your own hand. All right. But you know, with us doing this, we wiped our hands clean of that, man, because you were told already. That's why. And guess what? It's going to be examples made in the earth of those that heard this word, but they refuse to take heed. And that's when that blood's going to be on their own heads, man. So the Lord's going to make a lot of examples out of Jake in this time to come, man. You know?
You were supposed to be proactive when you heard the word, but Jake was reactive.
Yeah.
They just automatically just want to fight. Like, why are you trying to attack the messengers of Yahweh Shema Washai? Like, we here really for you. Like, we here for you, Jake. We're not here for these other nations of people. We here for you and the Israelite foreigners, man. You know, the speckled bird Israelites that look like the other nations of people. You know what I'm saying? But they forefather goes back to an Israelite. We can't forget about them. You know what I'm saying? Like, we still deal with those Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Because you got some Israelites like that in the camp that can pass for, you know what I'm saying, like other nations of people, but they is still a Jake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we there for them too. You know what I'm saying? But it's like when Jake hear the word, they get reactive and they just fight and they want to destroy. But the Lord said that our foreheads is gonna be as they forehead. We gonna always be bumping heads with us and these two.
You know the whole overtone of why Jake do that, because they don't come.
Yeah.
They just go. They just do. Like, you don't think about the end result of things, man. You don't think about what you're doing right now. What's gonna up to what's next. You know, you're not thinking about what's next. You're thinking here and now, which the media has taught you to think, man.
Yep.
They taught you to think, you know, what you're doing, you know, basically the here and now versus what you do now, how it's gonna affect you in the future. You know, present yourself now. How is it gonna affect you down the line, man? You know. That's why the scriptures say about having a good name. You know? And the scriptures say having a good name is far precious than fine silver, man. Fine gold, you know? Or it's better than one, brother. You know? It's all about having that good name, man. So what you do now is going to reflect yourself. Man. That good name, you have to maintain a good name in where you're at right now, man. And this time now, it's more important for you to have a good name and a good report. Especially with the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah, among others. Okay? So that's where it starts. You got it. Okay, anything else?
One more, but
okay. Yeah,
I think the spirit is led from it was like Isaiah 60.
Isaiah 60. Okay.
I ain't had nothing else.
Okay. Just go ahead and read through it real quick.
Okay.
You said Isaiah
9:16.
9:16.
Going to these false prophets and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and jump to it. What are you gonna read now?
Just 17.
Right. 17.
16, 17.
Okay. Yeah, you got it. You just run through it.
I got Isaiah 9 and you know what I'm saying, 16 going into these false leaders, man, that's not even warning, you know what I'm saying, from Christianity, even to those that are of the circumcision, that in the truth, and they still lying. You know what I'm saying? Because mind you, if you're not in MS, man, you know, you a bug out, man. I mean, it is what it is, man. Because if you teach it wrong, you ain't got the full spectrum You don't have the full. If you're not in GMS, because these other camps is bugged. They paid off and bugged out. But I got Isaiah 9:16. The leaders of this people caused them to err. And who? These false prophets. Look at look at Nate. Nate said that the lake of fire is it's like some spiritual place where you burn forever.
You just did like a full 180 right back into Christianity.
Yeah, like, you know, what's his name? Yepta or Yeptif, whatever the hell his name is, from One Body, the oldest Billy Goat alive. That nigga said that you ain't supposed to be talking about Jacob and Esau. He said that, you know what I'm saying, that Esau is some crap motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so if Esau is some Arab, who is in charge right now? Where they come from? Since you know where everybody else come from, where does Red Devil come from? Where is his forefather? Since you said that, you know, Esau's forefather, I mean that you know Esau is some Arab. Come on, man. Esau means Ashash, which means wasted away, heat. All right, and he lost his pigmentation because he killed his brother through Cain, man. All right. Now we got, and they are led of them are destroyed. Therefore, the Lord shall have no joy in their young men, neither shall have mercy on their fatherless and widows. For everyone is an hypocrite and an evildoer, and every mouth speaketh folly. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. You see that? See, the Lord's anger isn't all the way satisfied yet until he straight zap all you niggas, man. You know? See, the Lord's building up that anger. It's going to be fully satisfied when all you 2/3 niggas is burned up, man. You know? Point blank, period. You know, but he going to have mercy on those whom he will have mercy, and he will have compassion on whom he will have compassion. You know, we pray and hope that we're a part of that mercy and that compassion. We pray and hope that he's dealing with us and will continue to. Because in that day, you ain't got Yahweh Shai, you're done. I don't care who you are. I'm speaking to myself first. You know, that's just how, you know, serious and severe this thing is, man. You know, this is literally life and death. So, you know what I'm saying, if you out here teaching wrong, you are going to be judged more strictly. Because you're literally putting yourself in the presence of Yahweh Shema Washah, man. Yeah, like, you're literally putting yourself in the presence.
Yeah, the scripture where it says, know the will of the Lord, shall be feed with many strengths.
Yeah.
So if you know the will of the Lord already, you know what's supposed to be done according to what he has pushed out concerning his doctrine. Yeah, you're going to be beaten with many stripes, way above a Jake that don't know what the hell's going on, man. Because you know better, man. Because really, man, if you tell somebody, if you tell your son to do something and they don't do it, guess what? It's going to be more on them versus another son that you didn't tell. It's going to be less on them, man. You know? Because again, you know better. You know better than the next man. You know, or the next brother. You're going to get the worst of it. And that's why a lot of the leaders of these other camps are going to really catch it, man. Amongst all the others that are not a part of this fold, going to be elect, the leaders are going to catch it the most, man. Because you in a position to lead a certain Israelite. You really in a position to lead the elect, you know, to basically to guide the elect, you know, the shepherds on the earth to guide the flock. And if you're guiding the flock to the wolves, man, what do you think the chief shepherd's gonna do, man? You know, cast you in the outer darkness, man, and leave you to fend for yourself, man, and leave you in the wilderness, man. Because you have to remember, man, we subject to the chief shepherd, man. Yeah, we shepherds on the earth, but we answer to the chief shepherd. The chief shepherd see you leading the flock to the wolves, man, it's over for you, man. That brings me back to that scripture of that servant, that wicked servant that would receive the talent and then do shit with it, man.
He put it in a napkin and hid it.
And but compared to what these other individuals are doing, them that proclaim themselves to be leaders of our people, guess what, man? Y'all catch it the most. Because like you said earlier, they're gonna also face the wrath of the ones that they led.
Yeah.
They're gonna be looking for them, trying to hunt them down.
Yeah.
You know? Right, hiding from this congregation.
Yup.
You know? After he got the bag.
Yeah.
Because we already know we ain't none of it, man. We know what this is about. We know what we know the reason why you do it. Because it's for the bag, man.
Yep.
That's the reason why you're doing it. Because when you're involved in this ministry, your heart should be in the right place, man. Like, do you genuinely believe in what's being taught or what's being told or what's being presented to you, or are you just doing it to get the money, just to fill your pocket? It's either one or two things. You know? Yeah, is that more on that?
Kind of got more to back you up.
Okay, you got it.
I got Psalms 49 and verse 6. They that trust in their wealth and boast themselves multitude of their riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to the Most High a ransom for him. You see? So look, man, there ain't no way that you can weigh a ticket to the chariots, man. So all that shit that these paid off niggas is doing is out of vain. Because mind you, you know he's gonna have to get the MOTB to keep that 150. So that's just off. He is gonna have to do it because the financial system is gonna force him to do it. He's gonna be forced to get it. You know what I'm saying? Because it said what? Both small and great, free and bond, rich and poor. Everybody. So if he want to keep that $150 million, because they said that, because if you do the math, he probably make about like 600,000 or something like that. Something like that. You know, you can't run from that number 6 if you're doing bad.
Exactly.
You know. But you know what I'm saying? Nate can't buy no ticket on the chariot. Nate, shit, man, he might be Judas, man. He might be Judas, bro. I mean, I ain't saying who is and who ain't through the spirit, but the action and is similar to what Judas did. Like, it's similar. You know, then on top of that, he was police, and now he, you know what I'm saying? You know, man, it's a whole lot of police and IUIC. It's weird. It's real weird. And then them 3 officers just walked across the street. You know, let me finish, man. You know, for the redemption soul is precious and is seasoned forever. You see? So, man, you can never pay enough for a person's soul. It's priceless. You can't put a price on that. You know? Esau tried to put a price on it. Esau will try to put a price on your soul. You know, he already done. You know, it's called murder for hire. Okay? Yep. So, he technically already do it. So, basically, you know, 2017, it was $5,000 to get a nigga gone. Now it's $1,200. You know, so actually made it better for you now. You know, it's cheaper, you know. It's easier to kill a nigga than buying a car, man. Shit's ridiculous, man. You can kill a nigga buying a car. A car, like a decent car, gonna run about $2,500, $3,000, $3,500 for like something, you know, something decent, little point A, point B, get you where you need to go.
Not counting the interest.
Right.
40,000.
You see? You know, but you can't put a price on salvation, man. You know, salvation is allotted to those that do, you know? And those out there sighing and crying for these abominations to stop deserve it first. They deserve it over a pork-eating nigga. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know, somebody got to get delivered. Why not you? Why not us? Somebody got to fulfill that lot. Why not you? Why you want to fulfill the lot of having warheads rain down on the top of your damn dome piece skull? Why you want that to happen? Looking like fucking Al-Azhar with his hat off. Because all the hair at the top gonna get singed off, man.
Yeah, why you want to be part of infidels?
Right. Being a damn infidel party, man. You want to be a part of that infidel party, man. You don't want to partake in that, man. Because that's hot. And it's gonna hurt. And you gonna feel it inside, man. You can't even blow dry your hair for 30 minutes, let alone burn 30 minutes. That's gonna be the longest 30 minutes of your fucking life that you have left, you know? Because the Lord can still leave your spirit down there. You can suffer, you know? If you died right now and your lot was to get hit by the missiles, I guarantee you, you're gonna be a baby in the missiles. I guarantee you that, man. You know, so you don't want the, you know what I'm saying, to die to infidel. So do the right thing, man. Like damn Spike Lee same thing. And what's that? Knowing the conclusion of the matter. Follow the law, statutes, and commandments, man. All right, be a good brother, be a good sister. Give alms, charity. Be a part of the ministry. Build up that type of shit with Yahweh B'Ashem Yahweh Shai. You know, get closer to Yahweh B'Ashem Yahweh Shai more than ever now, man. All right, this is the time to really get your mind right and to really examine your bullshit. This is the time, for real, because it ain't gonna be a time where you can call a brother and be like, hey, bro, I'm going through this. It ain't finna be none of that real soon. We finna retire. We finna retire teaching. Because all hell gonna get loose and it's gonna force us to retire. You know? This is like really what is about to happen, man. So just build up that tight relationship and offend less with Yahweh B'Ashem Yahweh Shai, man. Offend less. You got it, huh?
Basically to build that personal relationship with Yahweh B'Ashem Shai now while you can. Because it's going to come a point in time where all this is going to be boiled down to that one-on-one with the Lord. And that's when that faith is going to have to be refined up to that point, man. Because if your faith is not refined in that day, man, you're going to falter, you're going to doubt, you're going to basically just get, and you're going to end up in a situation you don't even want to be in, man. You know? So, hey, man, now's the time now to continue to refine your faith and continue to sharpen your mind. You know, basically when we say get your mind right, we mean get your thoughts in order, and also as well to get more sharper as far as observing certain things, you know, and observing the time. It starts with observing the times that we're in, but then at that point you start observing other things, and then that's when wisdom starts to come into play. That's when you start applying wisdom, and that's when then when the time comes, you know how to apply that wisdom. You know, everything that you've been taught up until that point is gonna benefit you in the end. It's going to carry you over to the next world to come. When we meet Yahweh Shai in the air, Abaratazah. So with that, man, we're going to close out. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Ashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Ashem, B'Ashem. Once again, double honors to the apostles and those great millstone that continue to rule their world to this very day, continually being the plot through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Ashem, Yahweh Shai. Also, Shalom, mercy on us as well. To the Agatas the ones of the hope elect that are also doing the same things in his work and continuing this ministry in all faith, truth and sincerity, and also on charity. That was Shalom.
Shalom.
Next time.